Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs, to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness. By giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to become arrogant in the power that you have understood and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised. And And this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look through our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand. To be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle. Which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and in the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to the 327th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace, here on Tuesday, May 21st, 2024. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute, Education Department, and part of the public teachings in English. My name is Rick Crammond, and I will be host once again in this series of workshops that has been ongoing for over 6 years now. And once again, we have the honor of being joined by members of the Universal Council and support members here to present today's show. So let me get that ready and let us begin.
Thank you, Rick, for hosting this program continually. We want to thank you for that. And of course, this is the Universal Council program of the One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace. I don't know where the justice part came in. That could have been added later. I don't know who's going to meter out any justice other than the elevation of the souls, as we're not going to be punishing anyone, but we're going to give them the elevation that the soul is looking for. The Universal Council is one of the councils of the Keshe Foundation, and we welcome you all. And our mission, in a way, is to bring awareness to humanity of permanent, peaceful solutions to conditions we've created ourselves over many years, decades, centuries, millenniums, and so on. This understanding is now in our hands to bring the freedom to all inhabitants on planet Earth. And through the advanced technologies developed by the Keshe Foundation, including space travel, agriculture, energy production, and wellness, we are aiming to ensure these technologies are shared equally by all nations for peaceful application only. The Universal Council will plan and decide for the benefit of mankind a peaceful, prosperous future for planet Earth and its inhabitants. So we invite you to investigate, understand, and to join us in this greatest work by the soul of the man, to bring this permanent, peaceful condition within ourselves and this planet. And just to note, all the members of the Universal Council, the Earth Council, and the core team, and many, many millions of others in and around the Keshe Foundation have signed the World Peace Treaty. Maybe you just want to show that for a moment, Rick. And of course, this is the goal. I don't think this is the peace treaty, but that's no problem. You can find it on the, there it is. Okay. And this is a document we've all signed, and we've committed ourselves to peace, and we are here to serve and not to be served. So we welcome you all to the, as Shweta likes to say, the beautiful love, the energies, the enlightenment found in and around the Keshe Foundation. This is one of the best opportunities I've seen in my entire life for bringing this permanent peace in the combination of understanding the work of the soul and with the advanced technologies that are being offered to all of us, governments especially, in exchange for peace. So we welcome you to a beautiful program. We're part of a much larger family, which is another opportunity the Universal Council has to sort of integrate this planet and its inhabitants with its larger family, which is found in the universe, or what we refer to as the universal community. Again, it's no one's elected us to this position. Our souls have brought us here. We've, in a way, designated ourselves to be part of this process for whatever reason. You've had that desire. The soul is leading you in this direction. And if it's your wish to see peace, please join us in this process. I think for myself, it's the best opportunity working outside of the matter state, more or less, to bring the permanent, peaceful solutions to this planet. And that's the step we need to then start working and enjoying the entire universe. So thank you for being here, and we wish you much enlightenment today. Thank you.
Now we present the wishes of the Universal Council. Our wishes are the foundation, are the centerpiece of the Universal Council's soul. Feel the powerful energy. We, the Universal Council, wish that all souls of all involved participants in the conflict between Israel and Iran will be elevated with unconditional love, compassion, and peace for humanity. The Dome of Peace is activated for the highest good of all. Our wish is our command.
We are present.
We, the Universal Council, create conditions for all souls to connect to the cosmic fields of the strength of the Creator.
We are present.
We, the Universal Council, create the condition of peace within humanity as the humble beauty of the Creator.
We are present.
We, the Universal Council, support all KF language groups and the knowledge seekers who are serving in various ways to share the KF knowledge, the knowledge of creation.
We are present. Thank you, Margaret. Moment for soul connection, dear beautiful souls. Welcome to the realm of the souls, the beauty and totality of the soul, And I will say it in Hindi, a language by India's national language. And this will be for 3 minutes. And this is the moment. So I'm starting. Connect with the soul, my dear beautiful souls, as we are already connected. Just be there for the elevation, for the peace of humanity. So, and I start now. आप सभी का स्वागत है इस खूबसूरत मौके पर, क्षण पर, और आप सभी के लिए एक एक स्वागत है आपको सभी के। तो आप अपने आत्मा से सभी आत्माओं के साथ अपना अपना जो सीखा है, जो एक जुड़ाव है, उससे जुड़िए और अपने सांसों को अपने अंतर मन में झांकिए और अपने सांसों को हल्की से लीजिए, थोड़ा सा विराम दीजिए इस मुहूर्त में हर चीज के प्रति। और थोड़ी देर के लिए आप अपनी सांसों को अनुभव कीजिए, सांस लीजिए और हल्की सी सांस छोड़िए। अपना पूरा आयाम सांसों पर ही रखिए और अपने अंतर मन में झांकिए। अपने अंतर मन से कहिए कि मैं प्रस्तुत हूँ। तो मैं ये अपनी ये क्षण जो हम जुड़ते हैं एक दूसरे के आत्मा से, आत्मविश्वास के साथ, अब आप शुरू करते हैं। जुड़िए प्यार से, मोहब्बत से, खुशी से, करुणा से। थैंक यू। इस आत्मा के आयाम में एक दूसरे से जुड़ने के लिए आत्मविश्वास के साथ मैं आपका सभी का धन्यवाद और शुक्रिया अदा करती हूँ। And being present in this moment, connecting each other with each other's souls, elevating each other, loving each other, sharing love. And I thank you as you all are present here with all the love in your hearts for all that is. Thank you so much. Salam. Namaste. Thank you, Mujib. Now we can move to the next presentation. Here again, my dear beautiful souls, welcome. This is about the invitation, welcoming of all souls to join the Universal Council family. And I will say some few words written by somebody, a beautiful soul, I will say, not somebody. And um, um, this is what I want to say, that as a soul I am, as a soul you are. When I say that I love you, it means that I love you as you are, not as I did like you to be. It means that I love you no matter where you are, not only when you are with me. And it means that I love you no matter who you choose to love, even it is not me. Beautiful soul have written. And I will say, dear beautiful souls, that this is the uniqueness. This is the uniqueness we have. And this is why we are unique with all the cosmic uniqueness we have inside us. As Jean said, the humble beauty of the Creator. Always one as universal soul, always connected to each other, no matter how, my dear. And the science of the mind, body, and soul says, hey, here, my dear love, I take a pause, go to your inner infinity. You are, I am, to be present at this moment, and that is the moment we are together, understanding the virtues of the heart, the ethos of the soul. Welcome, always, dear ones. We live from eons in each other's heart. Each other's heart we lived, and we survived. We lived, I will say. And now, please, I will say it's a request of love that live with the music of love, of the soul, universal. This brings all the life and living as a beholder you and all that is with you. And this is the way we serve each other, we love each other. So, and it's you who have to open the door, always. So I will say that this uniqueness brings us together always in this oneness. It may have taken time, eons of time, but now we are here, search for each other for so long. But now, as Mark says, after a long time, we are here somehow, some from everywhere. So I will say from my heart and soul, the Universal Council invites the Keshe family and the Universal Council family and all family, all that is in love, in unifying at the soul level every day at 9 p.m. CEST time for the elevation of all souls and the protection of the physicality in the universe. So beautiful. And I welcome you, beautiful souls, as we are all together in this oneness. This is the cosmic uniqueness we have. We have to join each other always in this oneness, one universal soul. As Dean said, humble beauty of the Creator. My dear, we are all that is. Thank you for participating always, was, is, and will be. Thank you, my dear beautiful souls. Welcome. Salam, namaste.
Okay, next we have the video with Claudia and Marie. Just let me get that set up here. And this is with question 1 and 2. Okay, we'll play that now.
Okay, Rick, I think we need a little volume on this. Or
yeah, I think I have to share the sound.
And just to make everyone aware, the question and answer program you can find on KesheBrazil.com, I believe. And this is the first Saturday of every month that this program happens. I think it's at, is it at 10 p.m.? I'm not sure of the exact time, but you can join this program live and enjoy it and support it in that manner as well.
Okay. Okay. So the first question, I read the document on death and euthanasia, and I understood it. But my question is regarding animals. Most vets convince owners to euthanize animals when they are in great pain, and they think there is no way of regressing the disease. If we shouldn't euthanize humans, what about animals? Is it the same?
Então, a primeira pergunta é: eu li o documento sobre morte e eutanásia e entendi, mas minha dúvida é com relação aos animais. A maioria dos veterinários convencem os tutores a praticar eutanásia em animais quando estão em grande sofrimento e acham que não tem como regredir a doença. Se não devemos fazer em humanos, como fica a situação em animais? É a mesma coisa?
And the first answer, my answer is, we are the same, consist of the same, and therefore there is not for us to end a life. Me, as a human, when I master transmutation, I can choose to manifest as a dog or a cat. I will still have my own soul within, the same soul of physicality. To euthanize any soul is interfering with the natural process of death, where the energy from the soul of physicality is transferred to the soul of the man. And this process is not only for humans, it's for all living creatures. The death process is an important part of transitioning to the soul state from physicality. What we should do instead is comfort and reduce the suffering and pain so the process goes smoothly. This is my understanding.
Então, a primeira resposta é: somos iguais, consistimos do mesmo e, portanto, não há motivo para acabarmos com uma vida. Eu, como humano, quando dominar a transmutação, posso escolher me manifestar como um cachorro ou um gato. Ainda terei minha própria alma dentro de mim, a mesma alma da fisicalidade. Fazer eutanásia em qualquer alma é interferir no processo natural da morte, no qual a energia da alma da fisicalidade é transferida para a alma do homem. E esse processo não é apenas para os seres humanos, são para todas as criaturas vivas. O processo de morte é uma parte importante da transição da fisicalidade para o estado de alma. Em vez disso, o que devemos fazer é confortar e reduzir o sofrimento e a dor, para que o processo transcorra sem problemas. Esse é o meu entendimento.
There is another answer. All beings are equal. We have a soul. The soul is the fundamental energy of every being. It is the same. The situation between humans and animals in this and in all aspects.
Outra resposta é: todos os seres são iguais. Temos uma alma. A alma é a energia fundamental de todos os seres. Ela é a mesma. A situação entre humanos e animais é a mesma, nesse e em todos os aspectos.
And there's another answer. The soul of the man, animal or plant is all the same. Remember, every cell has a soul, and it is represented by the soul of physicality. We live in the same inertia environment, on the same spaceship called Earth.
Então, a alma do homem, do animal ou da planta são todas as mesmas. Lembre-se de cada célula tem uma alma e é representada pela alma da fisicalidade. Vivemos no mesmo ambiente de inércia, na mesma nave espacial chamada Terra.
And then we are on the second question. Hi everyone, whatever, where you come and where to know. I am from China. We said ni hao. What I would like to join in the discussion here is about the people and things I have encountered since I started learning Keshe technology. The story was, when we all meet each other, we know each other from internet, and even for many years, for a common ideal and hobby. While focusing on learning, we also think about how to pull everyone to progress together. However, in doing so, I always encounter some people who are enthusiastic, but everyone's understanding and level are different. If we all want to work together, more often we need to coordinate. So, how should we balance when we encounter many situations when organizing work? The specifics are, for example, that the Chinese translation organization has not made any significant progress despite the effort of many. However, the majority of people were not able to persist and seize the current opportunity. In a way, people are not as passionate as they used to be. And on the other is, everyone has their own lives. We cannot ask everyone to make free contributions. But if we want to do a good job with the translation organization, should we establish a plan, set long-term goals, and follow the directions of teaching progress?
Então vamos para a segunda pergunta. Olá a todos, onde quer que estejam. Eu sou da China. Dizemos ni hao. O que eu gostaria de perguntar aqui é sobre as pessoas e coisas que encontrei desde que comecei a aprender a tecnologia Keshe. A história é que, quando nos encontramos, nos conhecemos pela internet e até mesmo há muitos anos por um ideal e um hobby em comum, enquanto nos concentramos no aprendizado. Também pensamos em como fazer com que todos progridam juntos. No entanto, ao fazer isso, sempre encontro alguns entusiastas, mas a compreensão e o nível de cada um são diferentes. Se todos quisermos trabalhar juntos, precisaremos nos coordenar com mais frequência. Então, como devemos nos equilibrar quando nos deparamos com muitas situações ao organizar o trabalho? As especificidades são, por exemplo, o fato de a organização de tradução chinesa não ter feito nenhum progresso significativo, apesar dos esforços de muitos, mas a maioria das pessoas não foi capaz de persistir e aproveitar a oportunidade atual. De certa forma, as pessoas não estão entusiasmadas como antes, e por outro lado, cada um tem sua própria vida, e não podemos pedir a todos que façam contribuições gratuitas. Mas se quisermos fazer um bom trabalho com a organização da tradução, devemos estabelecer um plano, definir metas de longo prazo e seguir a direção do progresso do ensino?
And the first answer, there is a KF SSI translation group on Telegram where the teachings gets translated from the origin teachings of Mr. Keshe. Elias, Raphael, and many others do a wonderful job there. Try to find a knowledge seeker in the Chinese group who has a computer to do the Chinese translations. The translators have software that helps to do this intensive work. In the end, it's all benefit for all. In the end, it's a benefit for all. Don't wait for others to do it. Listen to your soul and participate.
Então, há grupos de tradução do Instituto de Nave Espacial da Fundação Keshe no Telegram, onde os ensinamentos são traduzidos a partir dos ensinamentos originais do Sr. Keshe. Elias e Rafael e muitos outros fazem um trabalho maravilhoso lá. Tenta encontrar um buscador de conhecimento no grupo chinês que tenha um computador para fazer a tradução para o chinês. Os tradutores têm um software que os ajuda a fazer esse trabalho intensivo. No final, é um benefício para todos. Não espere que os outros façam isso. Ouça sua alma e participe.
And there is another answer. Each being is an individual being in all aspects and has its own life. We emphasize the importance of giving, so we are always asking for more volunteers to do the translations and thus expand knowledge. Each soul seeks its elevation, and collectively we are responsible as part of that fundamental energy of the soul of the Creator, and each community must find a way to organize and collaborate to expand knowledge. And deepening and depending on the understanding that each one has, collectively, we elevate the soul of each community as part of that balance and the path to peace.
Então, cada ser é um ser individual em todos os aspectos e tem sua própria vida. Enfatizamos a importância de doar. Por isso, estamos sempre pedindo mais voluntários para fazer as traduções e assim expandir o conhecimento. Cada alma busca sua elevação e coletivamente somos responsáveis como parte desta energia fundamental da alma do Criador. E cada comunidade deve encontrar uma maneira de se organizar e colaborar para expandir o conhecimento. E dependendo da compreensão de cada um, coletivamente elevamos a alma de cada comunidade como parte deste equilíbrio e de um caminho para a paz.
And then there is another answer. Thank you for your question. We are all individuals working and studying together for a common goal to make peace on planet Earth for humanity and for humanity to become travelers in space. So with this goal in mind, we all have to contribute to and be humble in our work to reach our common goal. The teachings from Mr. Keshe are a process for all to understand. We are, as you say, all on different levels in our understanding, but we have to help each other on the way by teaching each other and be humble in the process of understanding. In the soul teaching classes, for instance, we have an open agenda where everyone can share their thoughts and questions. In this way, everyone can add their understanding to the topic of discussion. And in this way, we help each other understand more and progress. But it requires humbleness from everyone listening to the others' perspective and understanding. When it comes to translations, I know it's a very time-consuming and thorough work. So if all are joined in the common goal, people are humble in their approach and work, and also have a humble understanding of their own limitations concerning the translations. The translations will be done with enthusiasm and joy, and the speed and success will be present. Mr. Keshe is teaching us in a very
Somos todos indivíduos trabalhando e estudando juntos para um objetivo comum, que é estabelecer a paz no planeta Terra para que a humanidade se torne viajante para o espaço. Portanto, com esse objetivo em mente, todos temos que contribuir e ser humildes em nosso trabalho para alcançar nosso objetivo comum. Os ensinamentos do Sr. Keshe são um progresso para todos compreenderem, para todos compreenderem. Como você disse, estamos todos em níveis diferentes de compreensão, mas temos que ajudar uns aos outros no caminho, ensinando uns aos outros e sendo humildes no processo de compreensão. Nas aulas de ensinamentos sobre a alma, por exemplo, temos uma agenda aberta, na qual todos podem compartilhar seus pensamentos e perguntas. Dessa forma, todos podem acrescentar seu entendimento ao tópico de discussão, e assim ajudamos uns aos outros a entender mais e progredir. Mas isso exige humildade de todos para ouvir a perspectiva e o entendimento dos outros. Quando se trata de traduções, sei que é um trabalho muito demorado e minucioso. Portanto, se todos estiverem unidos em um objetivo comum, se as pessoas forem humildes em sua abordagem e em seu trabalho, e se também tiverem uma compreensão humilde de suas próprias limitações em relação às traduções, elas serão feitas com entusiasmo e alegria, e a velocidade e o sucesso estarão presentes. O Sr. Keshe está nos ensinando de uma forma muito rápida, e há uma grande necessidade de traduções para que os ensinamentos cheguem a mais pessoas. Todos os ensinamentos serão traduzidos, mais cedo ou mais tarde. Obrigado por seu serviço à humanidade.
And then we are on the third question.
Okay, that's our excerpt for today from Claudia and Marie.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, my dear Claudia. And thank you, my dear Mary. Thank you so much.
Next, we have an excerpt from the 538th Knowledge Seekers Workshop, which is our last Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And this is starting at 19 minutes into it.
Understanding of totality.
Just a second here. Okay, we'll have a look at that now.
in what we call structures. When we see this picture appears in the graphs, where we see the soul of the man, the soul of physicality of the man, and the physicality of man bear all the combination of the fields of the matter state, the what we call the vegetation state, and the animal kingdom, which is the cell body physicality of the man together, we get this figure. But when you look at this, when we see this in our systems running, it means that the man has reached a point of transmutation. Everything is in a field matter. Everything is ready to move on. When you get this picture, it means you're still in doldrum of trying to find out the physicality and what we call separation or expansion of the soul. But when we see this picture, spherical, the reason that most of or all of the celestial objects are spherical is this reason. What do you see? It's the first time scientifically we can explain even why the plasma takes a spherical shape. Why stars are in a spherical shape. Not only due to rotation, but due to creating combination of the field strength, which each one has its own heartbeat. And in that heartbeat sits the structure of matter state, which is embedded inside the star, what we call a life state, and what you call the vegetation state, or the same as physicality, the soul of physicality, or what we call the soul of the system. And when you see a picture like this, scientifically, this explains a lot of things to us. And we look tomorrow in these tests to see how more spherical you make it. And when it squeezes itself to a near enough sphere, it means all the knowledge seekers are ready for transmutation. It means all the energies has come together. And this is why we separate two knowledge seekers, as too many of you fall in the pitfall of believing in what you're trying to do or what you see, and you go back to the matter state. You try to control it physically. And then we see this picture quite often. I think in some of the pictures we've shown before, you've seen this, appears as a sphere and then suddenly always has a peak behind it. And whenever you get a peak, you see the physicality, which is the yellow line, takes over. Means I cannot trust the soul. I cannot believe I can do such a thing. Am I worthy of being able to? And very interesting is that how suddenly the energy increases, reaches a peak, reaches a point. And when we get these data, it shows how much knowledge seekers are ready to go. And then they get frightened of themselves. We see this in a medical application. As I explained to many doctors before, we see people getting better. They change their life through the wellness centers or systems they use or process of the Keshe Foundation they use to get in a wellness side. And then when you ask them the question about it, they say, no, this doesn't happen. The fear of confirming, yes. And this is the same problem we see here. And in a way, when you understand, when you what we call the data, then you will see how so many of you are ready to transmute. Except that you have the fear of, am I worthy of? Would I be able to achieve such a thing? And then we see what happens. How, when you build your confidence, in a way trusting in yourself, that you don't need any intermediaries, you move to these new phases. And in a way, you flip over to what we call another dimension, another position, another understanding of your own existence. That, yes, I can transmute. I can transfer the fields of my existence, and I'm not afraid of it because I can bring it back. I can create it to be. And then what is interesting with many of you is that your own success, your own combination of the fields of the work comes to become the process of demise. In a way, you stop the process. In a way, you control the expansion of the soul. Trust in a higher order, what we call mechanism, higher order, what we call process of expansion. And we see this quite often with you knowledge seekers. And amazing enough, you keep on repeating it. We see it in the crowds of you, when you're many of you, and we see this with when it's individuality of you. And how what we call the process would lead to another process of what we call self-inflicting division. Self-inflicting division of what we call division is soul from the physicality and physicality from the soul. And we see this. And this brings us a lot of knowledge. And today's teaching is primarily about these kind of conditions, because you as knowledge seekers, many of you are ready to go, are ready to, in a way, become part of that what we call universal community, to become part of the existence of the totality. And it's a day like this, before we bring you as knowledge seekers to understand the totality, is our job to bring you to see, is our job to make you to understand where and how this will happen. In this picture, it gives us a beautiful indication of how you see yourselves. And this is important for those of you who join us tomorrow in the sessions, and you will understand a continuous field. You see this beginning of the creation of the circle. And then everybody collapses. And then you go through a matter phase. And then soul and soul of physicality tries to come together to go through the phase of the transmutation to the soul. But as you see, again, the matter state, because this is where you find yourself safe. All of you, all the knowledge seekers, humanity, in next months and years of coming time, will go through this and has to understand how much is the difference, and what is the difference, and why does man jumps back into what we call conversion of the souls into the physicality? Is it fear? Are you afraid of? Or is it, am I worthy of? Those of you who have no hesitation will go through the system. You'll go through the whole structure of the transmutation. And if I show you another picture, you can see it in a more, what we call, beautiful way. How the soul of the physicality is interrupted inside the physical, where the soul cannot pass the dimension of physicality. This what we call the image we see, it shows how much the man is physical. And this comes at the process when the man says, I have no physicality. And you can see the other dimension in the same process, that physicality doesn't play. And as I said, then you see the same, continuously jumping. This jump and going back to physicality is like you do something and you feel home, you go back home. You stay home because home is safe. And man has to learn that the home is the soul of the creation, not the physicality of the man. Not having fear of interacting with the fields of the creation than with the physicality of the man. In tomorrow's session, we will create a condition for those of you who will be in the session to be able to let the physicality go. To, in a way, not to go, but not to have a fear that you cannot manifest yourself in a dimension of physicality. In how you bring about the condition of everything together to be carried. What is interesting in these pictures is that if I ask you to all take all your clothes on, just sit with the bikini, nothing with you. All of you who sit in these pictures, you should are in your clothes, there's a belt, there's money in the pocket and everything else. You see a different image than this. Some of you are eating, some of you are drinking, some of you are asleep during the session. And then that interacts with what we see on the graphs. And we understand and we can eliminate most of these, but it has to be there because when I transmute you, I have to take you with the clothes. I have to take you with something which you feel safe to be in.
Okay, there's our extract from the 538th Knowledge Seekers Workshop, which was the last Knowledge Seekers Workshop that we had on last Thursday. And now we have the reading of the extract from same workshop.
Hello, everyone. It's Claudia from the Brazilian community. So today we are reading an extract from the teaching 538. We are getting to the point in the development that even those of you who go through a full transportation systems in the future have to be ready for transmutation. If you want to experience what is outside this cage of physicality, I'm traveling as a UFO, a spaceship, whatever you want to call it, unless you are what I call expats. You go to a country, you create your own group, your own food. Doesn't matter you are 10,000 kilometers from home. Why have you come this way? If you are going to be in your own village, why do you come to this space when you still want to be in a UFO? We still want to be in a flying machine. You cannot go to Bahamas with the tie and a suit. Go on the seat on the beach with a tie on and a suit and try to enjoy the pleasures of the water. You take your clothes off, you change in a swimming suit, and you go in a water to taste it, to test it, to see how good you are in that environment. This will be with the man in the space. When we start showing the flight system to the moon, you want to go to the moon and sit in the system? Don't you want to touch that sand? Don't you want to feel how it feels to be what you call a citizen of this new environment? So you understand when the man, even when taught you about the flight system, at the end of it, you have to go through a transmutation if you want to see where you are, how it feels. It's like going to China with bunch of Koreans and you eat Korean food every day in China. Why did you come to China? Just being a... This is what you, as knowledge seekers, have to understand to gain confidence that we lose these pictures and we reach what you call the spherical shape tomorrow, where the soul of physicality and the physicality of the man in all three dimensions of his creation, which is the matter state, solid state, which is the bone, the what you call field strength, which is the amino acids of your whatever you call it, the lung, the liver, or whatever, and the energy of the soul of the man all work together to create that spherical shape. To create that, what I have in yours, when it's a sphere, when it's a sphere, everybody takes, everybody's, there is no end. And when you look at these pictures, when I see these things, brings me so much understanding how much our knowledge seekers are afraid of their own image. You are afraid of your own shadow when it comes to what I call putting your knowledge into practice. Understanding the control of the fields of the existence and using it to travel in the dimension of the fields of the environment and the universe is what we are pushing at, we are pushing you to, bringing you to understand. Understanding that this shape, this a little spherical, and then jumps to physicality, shows the can expand, but it jumps to physicality, it found it. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. This means man still is afraid of losing life, afraid of the demise of physical life, not knowing that you can jump into the field of the universe and if the emotion and the pleasures of becoming back to the dimension of physicality is there, you will manifest yourself the way, the place, and the time you live, or you come back in the time and place. You come back in the time and place. You see how much you jumped the time. In a way, so much has gone on while you been away, but you come back and you see when we come to, and as I said, we try to open the books more and more for you to understand. When we reach this point of understanding that you as knowledge seekers sooner or later have to face the reality of you are a passenger of space. You already are, because your machine, your vehicle, what you call the Earth, is already going in 1,600 kilometers an hour and is rotating everywhere and is in the span of another system called the solar system. You go to learn, you go to not to learn, but to understand that the dimension of physicality of the man has no limit. If become the I become the dimension of the energy of the man, the soul of the man. The soul of the man can expand the whole of the universe to the whole of the universe. Soul of the man can expand the whole of the universe if that soul understand that everything within it is for everything which has made it to made it off to be. You got to understand how to transfer the energies into the what we call the field and the cosmic rays and the cosmic fields, that at the end of the point you can convert it back to a plasma of itself. And one day when you comprehend this, you start becoming the travelers of the space. You start becoming those who can just by thinking, by allowing and the energy expansion of the inner sanctum of man, you can make yourself visible, invisible, and be in 3 places at the same time. Those who manage to do this already go through it, and we see them. We call them daydreamers in some case, because they see what we call the interaction of the fields exactly the way man dreams at night. But how the soul expands and takes the man to another dimension, to another position. And then we see man only does not dream at night, man dreams at the day, which means the soul of the man can expand even the daytime. And this is what we are putting you through. But the soul of the man and the soul of the physicality of the man and the physicality of the man have a specific way of combination, and it has time itself to work in a certain ways. Thank you.
And at the same time, we try to expand the knowledge and in a way monitor the totality of you as knowledge seekers. How you will start going in the dimension of the transmutation. Our plan is sometime in this summer, bring about a day that all of you, like what we did a few months ago, come into the processes of transmutation and transfer. That we, making a number of knowledge seekers ready for the conference in Tehran and back in US. It cannot be done in one go. It cannot be as we decide today and you come. It's gaining their trust, being able to do, trusting in what you do. It's not this, I come in this session and I transmute. It will not happen. And we start putting sessions in that most of you as knowledge seekers gradually can do. It's not just to talk. Question, Mr. Keshe. Kindly explain again the colors of the graph. What's the yellow, purple, blue and green? Thank you. Mr. Keshe answers. Mainly what you are concerned with is the yellow, the green and the purple. The yellow is the set to be the dimension of the physicality. The purple is the soul of physicality. And the green is the soul of man, strength of the field. And very soon we bring into play new dimensions of what we call instantaneous transmutation by developing technologies to this effect. And for this, and for you to test it. And we go through the next phase of the whole process. And we watch, we see, we understand, and how. The reason you see that spherical, it means because the body of the man is made of the fields of energies of minerals, vegetation, and the energy field or fields. So each one has its own field strength, its own soul. And then we see this spherical shape. And then maybe in a coming time, if you buy apps, you buy whatever system that you can see when you are ready to transmute, you see your soul is coming to the point, your physicality. It's time to go. We have to develop these because we are delivering the systems. We are looking in three-dimensional systems that now we can see immediately how you collectively or individually ready for that transmutation. When is the time you are physical? We see you. When you become energy fields of the man, which you become the fields and have no dimension of physicality. And then we can have a position that all three line up together. That at the point you can divide and be in two positions at the same time, be connected to each other like a twinity, to the manifestation manifested in both sides. And this time, this needs you to learn about yourself, confident in yourself that you are not dreaming. It's another dimension of the fields and you can stay. And you've seen in the graphs we show you today that you all go through and then you jump back to physicality. We hide in physicality because we feel safe. And then the more you do that, the more prominent the fields are. So it means somebody's laying the line, somebody's bringing the decision, and the other fields in that strength gather to it. Thank you.
Question. To recognize a transmuted person, the soul can convert the physical image to what others are familiar with. What will be the point of reference for those born without a physicality? Mr. Keshe answers, I think a lot of knowledge seekers gradually will become aware of these things, how to recognize. The more and more of you go into understanding the process of transmutation and transfer, you will start recognizing each other and how you interact, how this, what the soul is, how it is, and what it is. As I said, partially 90% is the lack of the trust, 10% is the knowledge. And if we manage to get knowledge seekers to trust in themselves, in what the energy they carry, the 10% is how to teach them to do it. And then you all can transmute. And then, because you know you are transferring through energy, not the physical dimension. The way you recognize the sky is this, that guy, and that guy is that. You recognize their soul. The way you recognize the soul of your mom in your sleep or your dream about other people, in your dream you never met, but in physicality most probably can create to know them who they are. Another question? A new question? If the body absorbs 80% of its energy from the environment, is it the soul that absorbs this energy? Or is there a specific organ that is responsible for the absorption? Mr. Keshe answers, every organ absorbs what it needs on its own. Kidney absorbs 80% what it needs and the energy it needs. Liver does the same. Intestines do the same. We had a very clear example of this in the past 3-4 weeks. And then I will explain to you exactly. We have put this into a physical test. And it's amazing. When it's completed, I will explain. And how much we absorb from our environment. And we're testing it 2 or 3 cases. Each organ absorbs for what it needs, for the section it needs. It's not that it goes only to kidneys, only to liver. Energy spectrum of each one is different. That's why they are different organs and they do different jobs. So they absorb coordination of different fields from the universe for their function. Thank you.
Question to Mr. Keshe. You've talked about the supernova power of death. How can this be understood in Gaza, where tens of thousands have been deceased? And how about those who were? How about those who murdered? Mr. Keshe answers, it's the same. It's not the first time happening. It won't be the last time. But we all go through the same process. We release energies, and some of those are at the strength of those who committed it. And we got to understand, as I said, this 30 to 40,000 people plus souls or energies released will bring an end to this culture. And you'll understand why. And they have to do it themselves. They have to do it themselves, for themselves, to come to an end. And the energy they release itself, it does a strength of the field, because the man who shot the bullet, the man who ordered, you can show them. The man who made the decision in the cabinet as the minister, all adds up. You just watch what happens to these people and the way it happens to them. But they have a purpose. And these souls, collectively, it's just like when your soul mature, these people, collectively, their energy lives. Magnetic field. And what we call the field of their souls will bring this position. Depends. It's a very funny situation if you look at the Gaza and if you look at the Ukraine, it's similar. More people have died in Ukraine than even during the Second World War in this area. Russians talk about 200,000. The Ukrainian side, nobody knows how many. How many mercenary soldiers have died? Nobody knows how many. But when you listen to how it is, you understand it is the background of these people and how they come to be. If you go to the background of Putin, great-great-grandfather, he's a Jew. He comes from the descendants of Jews. And then, a couple of generations before, or whatever, they become Christians. And they become a devout Christians. And we created this war to protect the Christians. But what happens to the people who were setting for this war to create? And what happened to this? Nearly 300,000 estimated have died in Ukraine. The death rate compared to Palestine is 10, 15 to 1. We know it because now the Ukrainians are prepared to bring 20,000 prisoners to become warriors, to guns. Give them gun to stop staying in prison. Go and kill. And we know how Ukrainians are losing the war because America has put 102 billion war in. If you're winning, you don't put it in because you're gonna losing and you just pump it in. But Russians have taken the over. We don't heard actually what's happening in the real arena. They only tell us what Russians has more or less open the front. They put millions, billions to cover the northwestern front, and then Russia just walked in. How many lives have lost? We don't know. But these souls in these conditions go back to the essence of the soul who ordered the murder. Doesn't matter if it's Putin or it's what you call it, Netanyahu or the rest. They will settle. They will bring an end to. And this is wars of the religions. It's a last, what you call it, flick of the bird before it goes down. But the souls released in Gaza, in others, is all the same. The man who pushed the button pays for it. Go back to the teaching. The man who built the gun will pay for it. The man who ordered for the soldiers to push the button, and the man who thought of doing that order, all will do, will pay, and the things will change. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Andrea is speaking again, support member of the German community. Dean and me, we read today the last part of the Universal Council mandate and how we can see all communities in the Keshe family growing faster and faster. And so this part is also important for the newcomer and maybe a refresher for the older one. It's wonderful that the wind of change is here right now and unstoppable. Mr. Keshe and we, the knowledge seekers, feel that our dreams about for the unique plasma science and space technology for planet Earth are coming true. So the last part is the concern of the wishes. Why do we create wishes? A wish supports and helps to change all subjects to come in balance and harmony. And as I said before, the wishes of the Universal Council members and supporters are the foundation, are the centerpiece of the Universal Council soul. We send the Universal Council wishes with our pure intention and powerful field strength in the universe to bring peace, abundance, luck, health, food security, many other topics, and establish the connection to the universal community. United in peace, one planet, one nation, one race. How to create a wish and accomplishing this through your wishes. A wonderful explanation of serving totality in giving from your soul. You are the creator. The benefit of one soul benefits the totality. Try not to get diverted by what is or what was. Create a new reality slowly, exactly how you want it to be, and don't get distracted. Just create in your vision, your creation, and slowly build it up in full trust. Avoid anything, anywhere, and concentrate on what exactly you want. Slowly include the people around you and hold on to this path by paying attention to what isn't yet in place and adjust your attention slowly to change everything into beauty. Support your creation. You create through this higher frequency and higher field strength. All that was will slowly change into a new state of a higher field strength. But do not let anything distract you in your path. Go totally blank towards any print or news information from anywhere. You are the creator of your reality. So your mind needs to go silent to work through the fields you are generating from your field strength with you as a creator. Keep your surroundings very clean and in a high energy frequency. You can use ganzes and margraphs, etc., to keep the surroundings fields clean. Keep all disturbing news out of your way. You will create a new reality. Your new reality, which is of a higher field strength. Through this process, you keep adding new field strengths that allow you to remove any negative or any lower frequency. Through your creation, they simply cannot come in or touch the field strengths of your new positioning. Through love, you are beautiful creators. The Universal Council.
Thank you, Andrea. Would you like me to carry on from this point?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Right, so Andrea, we and people listening, I would just like to say that there is the next page is page 13, and we were going to leave it out, the UC wishes, but I think we should read it, and so I'm going to read this and the next page, the final page, which is page 14. So page 13 is UC wishes, and these were made some moments ago by the UC when it was in a more younger state. However, the intentions and the beauty have always been present from the very moment of the creation of the council. So the UC wishes, we wish to elevate the souls of those who have the understanding of right and wrong, for them not to inflict any physical or other harm on any children, the Universal Council. 2, we create a protection field for the children who are not in a position to defend themselves. Universal Council. 3, we wish to elevate the souls of those who have been victims of abuse to free them from any suffering. Universal Council. So the Universal Council's collection of the wishes from the past 2 years, with contributions of Mr. M.T. Keshe, the core team, the Earth Council, the Universal Council support members, and the knowledge seekers, and the public, is presented and published in our wiki. And that to link to this full list of UC wishes online, and as you can see, there's a link there. This needs to be updated, and this is where we need the presence of more volunteers to help us establish this and to spread this beautiful knowledge further and further. So the final page, page 14, the Universal Council, in their presence of the level of the soul, are creating the understanding for the peaceful existence for mankind. Understanding we exist in the present. Time has no existence. We are always present, serving. Universal Council. The man has come from, he exists, operate through, and he shall return to the light. There's no time, and there's no space. Man has created time to give himself existence and space to have something to exist in it. If you have a single atom in a cubic meter, that plasma will cover the whole cubic meter. God has been the creator of all, and man, the converter of some. M.T. Keshe. Thank you for your presence and sharing your beauty. Best wishes, the Universal Council. And I think that concludes the mandate for the Universal Council. As you can see, the presence of this mandate has some very, very incredibly beautiful intentions and meanings, and a field strength of love, of uniting and creating a reality of beauty for each and every soul that's present in the moment. And that is each and every single one of us. We speak it as human beings, but I know that many beings and many vertical friends and horizontal friends, many different souls in many different shapes and forms, all receive this knowledge in this moment. And I mean, it's always a pleasure to be able to bring this knowledge forward for each and every one of us to receive it on a soul level. It's a wonderful, wonderful position, and understanding when you mature to the beauty of what you really are. Thank you all very much. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Andrea, for reading. Next slide. Thank you, Rick. So this is the transmutation preparation that has been taking place. The next one, I believe, is going to be taking place on June the 21st, 2024. And this is for €300. The price, I think, is for each and every one of us is irrelevant, really. It's the knowledge and the beauty that's behind it. There's a cost to do anything in life, as we know, in the physicality. And so we have to keep it operational in the physical body. So there's a cost, and that is the cost. But the transmutation preparation sessions are basically, as you see, every third Friday of the month from January 2024 to June 2024. There will be full-day sessions from 9 CET to 17 CET, and I believe that will be summertime as well. Offered for those that would like to prepare for the transmutation. You can book individual sessions or the bundle of all 6 sessions for a discount. So I know many of the knowledge seekers that are present on the panel and have been present listening for many, many moments and understand the beauty of themselves and the knowledge, have been taking part in these preparations for the transmutation. And I know many of them have experienced many wonderful things that has touched them very deeply, has touched them on a soul level that brings them to a deep understanding of what and who they really are. You know, the position that the soul has. And I think it would be wonderful in the time to come, in this moment, for someone to come forward who's been in the transportation preparation session to actually share an experience, to share, you know, how it touched them, how it felt for them, how it gave them the ability to touch the soul. And Mr. Keshe has mentioned this many times. And I think many of us have experienced this ourselves, that when you touch the soul, it's so profound and so deep and so beautiful that many find it very difficult to describe it in words, the power and the unconditional love that they felt. And it brings a lot of emotion. And we all know that it's the emotion that is the key. And if we can transcend the emotion, if we can retain that emotion and view it, step outside of the emotion and look back, we can transmute. We can transmute the feel strength of it to another position. And then we really, truly transmute. So this transmutation preparation sessions are for our own understanding, with our own knowledge, to prepare us for this beautiful transitional period that is taking place in these very moments. Thank you very much. Thank you, Rick. Next slide.
Okay, this is a video, and I will play it. Keep Keshe Foundation free for humanity.
Keep Keshe Foundation free for humanity. Become a trial volunteer. And Mr. Keshe is making every effort to keep Keshe Foundation free and independent, and out of control of the multinational corporations. Therefore, we need more knowledge seekers with certain health conditions to come forward and be part of the trials and test. It's different than volunteering for big corporations with huge budgets. For one thing, they pay you to put experimental drugs inside your body because you are taking a risk. With plasma science, it is totally opposite. You are working with plasma fields that cannot damage you, and usually your condition changes or goes away. But you have to pay for it because it's an act of love to help bring the change to humanity. Please, if you could consider volunteering for these trials, not only do you benefit, but you bring benefit to others.
This is the tooth of a child, and you can see it literally to the flesh. And this is very few weeks later. Where the tooth is literally recovering and growing. And when you see, the changes are so fundamental. And this is what our doctors and dentists are achieving. This is a life of misery, pain, tooth extraction. And this is today, a few weeks later. And you walk away for all the problems. How far this will go? Will it become a complete tooth in the next 6 months, 12 months? And would we see the changes? Because if you're a dentist, and if you're an ordinary man, you can understand the difference between the two. No chemicals, no medicine, nothing was used. The target of our dentists and doctors is to grow tooth where it has gone. It's been pulled out if it's possible. It's been the dream of the dentists. And using the new technology by them, I'm sure they will try. As you can see, the difference between the two is very clear. We see new bones, new structures, new covers appear. It's the same for us with the what we call the world of salinity. Can we create a condition? Would you like to change the screen, please? Right. Can we come to the point that with application of the remote, we can deliver directly, for example, to build a piece of wall of a heart of a baby, the way we did with a tooth, from thousands of kilometers away, without open heart surgery? Can we rebuild part of a kidney which has been damaged in your dialysis machine? Can our doctors, with a new technology, remove kidney stone without any intervention? Do they need to change the salinity within a kidney for the stone to melt within a few sessions? And now you understand why we tell you, volunteer. Do you want me to go to multinationals and tie your hand with research? Or do you want to do it yourself and help the others and our doctors to understand? We are not in medical practices. We are in elevation of the soul, how the soul decides to change the what we call dimension within dimension of physicality. And secondly, all these trials is done by the doctors. We are providers of the knowledge. So, if you want to see if it works, if it can bring a new understanding for us, volunteer. And opposite to the other researchers or doctors and institutions where they go out and look for billions to pay scientists to find out, Keshe Foundation asks you to pay for, as volunteer, for us to learn, for scientists to bring the new dimension.
So here we are again. That means MOSFEC again on transmutation. Now we had a session last Friday, and it would be interesting to hear some of others' experience who have been in that session, and how they felt, what kind of experience they can share. So the way I want to talk about today is my experience in this session. I don't use mobile phone to connect, so something that I want to clear at the very beginning. Be clear about in the beginning. I usually do directly from Seoul, and I can tell the difference between connecting directly to the cosmic ray field and also through the enhancement unit. And so anyway, I did connect, and I did several tests. But before I go into this test, I want to talk about my earlier experience with transmutation. One of the things I've noticed is sometimes it's extremely rapid. In minutes, it happens in minutes. And sometimes I don't know how long it took, but it took a short time because I did the transfer and then I didn't know I forgot to pay any attention to what I did the energy transfer for. And then I see, well, it's all right. The situation is no longer there. So I don't have a very good estimate of time there, but it does happen like that. And sometimes in some other cases, it's slow. So there is a difference in speed. So, so this requires a little bit of understanding because Mr. Keshe actually today, Andrea was saying about space and time does not exist. But apparently we live in space and time, and we have things happening in space and time. And the time seems to be variable when it comes to application of the soul in transmuting certain aspects of physicality. So here we have to, once again, use the field to understand the field. How is it that time in one case is much longer than in others? So this is a field interaction, obviously. Some field is slowing down the process considerably. And sometimes it's a little bit, sometimes it's not much at all. So there is a field interaction between the soul of man and soul of physicality in the fields that they generate. Somehow, in some cases, the soul of physicality is allowing the rapid energy transfer, and in other cases, there is a resistance, so to speak, in making the change. So this requires a bit of looking into how fields interact. And in a way, the secret lies in the construction of the gravitational magnetical field that we learn from MAGRAV. The one field is coming in, and another field is pushing out. So now if we take into consideration the one that's coming in versus the ones that's putting out, and if there is interaction between the two fields, of course, this requires a certain kind of match between the two fields, then if the push is there, so it will slow it down, the reception of the field. And if the push is too much, nothing will happen. Nothing can come in. And the push is not there, then it's immediate, because the field transfer does not take time. These are some of the things we have to look into. And if we look at the maggrav, each turn of the coil doubles the field. So if we extend that understanding, and we can also do experiments using fields both within ourselves and also using reactors. I have done both, so I have some understanding here. And so this slowdown effect is a very interesting one. And since I've done several experiments, I can tell that there is a difference in different situations. So I wanted to look at how the physical side is resisting the soul side in the transmission of the fields. Although the field transmission is of high strength, there is somehow something matching at a lower strength that's preventing this the slowdown process, not preventing, but the slowdown process. And in some cases preventing when it's at the same level. So this is one of the things that was very interesting in my mind, is that, and I observed my emotional state, and as much as I could, the level of soul of physicality, and soul of man. And so I'm doing some experiment of how to speed up, in the sense that how I can diminish the field from soul of physicality or physicality. So this was going on before last Thursday's meeting. So my last Thursday's meeting, Mr. Keshe went into detail, which was retold today, and which was interesting, and which requires detailed study actually. And that gave me some more clue as to what one could do. So during Friday's experiment, I did it both by connecting with the enhancement unit and without the enhancement unit. It was very interesting. The difference was very tangible. In the enhancement unit, the soul makes the intention, and soul level intention is there, but you can sense the other people's field as well. So the emotional effects of others were present and felt, and in some cases, the other physicality level disruption of the field was noticeable. And so this was when I was doing it, and I was trying to gauge my emotion and the one that I'm receiving. So it was something to observe, and it was essentially a data collection effort on my part. Now, coming back to the situation where I was not connected to it, it's during the same time I just disconnected for a short time and did the same experiment. By the way, the experiment was transmuting from where I was sitting to a nearby location. It was not, I mean, it is a controlled experiment. So I know the other location specifically and where I'm going to go. I walked there and I mean, I determined this is where I want to go. So this was the experiment I was doing. And so I was, when it came to what I was doing myself, I was noticing that, it starts with the movement of the soul. We have traveled to moon and other places, and with the enhancement unit or without, and it's not difficult to do, for me at least. I mean, I can decide a place and I can go there. And I actually tried also going to my sister's house in Australia, which I've never been to, and I told her something about it. And anyway, so that was also something I tried. But I won't go into that. But so the interesting thing is that when I was doing it by myself, I could more precisely observe how my physicality was coming into physicality. The emotion of the physicality is coming into prominence. The emotionality of the physicality is that, well, I am here physically. It's not possible to move physically. So it was a learned experience of that I am physically, I can't move, or I can't, and I was not allowing the soul's intention to, essentially it was attenuated by the effect of the physical feelings. It came on like, you can see, I could see the transition where it started, I could position myself with the soul of man at the location I wanted to go. But the physicality was saying, well, it's not possible. And it started dominating, slowly that faded and the other one started dominating. It was very clear. And I was watching in slow motion. It was kind of fascinating to observe how it was happening. So it was fun, and and then so since then I'm adjusting some stuff, and I'll also do these experiments again. But it's very interesting, and to me it was a good data collection effort on my part. I would love to hear anybody who has been to the Friday session and their experience. That would be interesting data point as well. And I also did another one. It was since I know a little bit about how to play with the fields, so I've been to moons several, and Mr. Keshe has indicated the moon you go to is the moon that you match to, not necessarily the moon we see. So I said, okay, I'll go to the moon. So I went to the moon, which is easy, not a difficult task. So I went there, and as usual, I was feeling the moon. But then I said, well, I want to be more precise in specifying the magnetic field of the moon. So I said, okay, the more precision means that I want the field of the planet Earth to be near this moon. And as soon as I thought of it, I realized that the moon I was on is not near planet Earth. And then I said, okay, I want to go to the moon where the magnetic field of the planet Earth is nearby. And I went to a different place. And it was unexpected. The result was really shocking. I won't talk about it, but I would say the moon is not what we have been portrayed to be. That's how I felt. And I also went inside the moon as well. And that was an experiment I did. It's just a fun experiment I did. But it was nevertheless specifying the magnetic gravitational field is something that we are learning, and how to become more precise in creating that specification is something, again, a learning and experience for all of us. So that's all I wanted to share today. Hopefully somebody else who went there may be in a position to share. Anyway, for me, that's it. Thank you.
Beautiful, Moshfik. Beautifully you shared. Thank you. And in this process, we are going on. And anybody has an experience, dear beautiful souls, those who are present here, any experience or being in this transmutation session can share. And you are most welcome. Where is the fire? Fire of change, as we say, the fire of desire and this fire is of so calmness, and this changes everything, the chemistry, all the emotion, all changes. And this is the transmutation we are having, the fire of this desire to be in the truthfulness, in the beauty and totality. And this fire is about always the chemical changes that goes to the physical changes, and that changes everything. You were in and you want to be. So the soul asks, where is the fire? I want to see the light. So in our inner infinity, this fire always glows, protecting yourself. All of us. So this transmutation is here. We have to be. Like, like there is a plan of the universal soul. Like when there was a dam in a village that was very ancient, and people rely on that dam always, and life is going on very good, and there were rich and the poor and all. But what happened one day? A storm came. That storm was not they didn't believe, they didn't see a storm like this, not even a storm. But this storm changes the inner core of that villagers mostly. And the villagers gathered because of an intuition that everything will be destroyed in a way. But then the storm came, and with the intuition, they created another shelters for many. But those who didn't listen, didn't have this change, the transformation to change, to be in the shelters and all, they have driven away with the storm, with the river, with the flood. But those who have this intuition to change, to understand, to be in this position, to transmute themselves, all right, this is the position and we have to be like this. They lived forever. So this is the way, as Moshe said, the enhancer we are to each other. Transmute, be a peaceful person in the knowingness of all that is happening. Thank you, my dear. Thank you always. This is the beautiful knowledge you always give. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now we can move to the next slide, my dear Rick. If there is anybody who wants to, and okay. Here we bring the needs and wishes from you. Okay. Yes, Andrea.
Hello to everyone. Here's Andreas from the German-speaking community. And I will speak today about the German community and building up a community and being a creator and the pleasure of serving. You can go to the next slide, Rick. For me, I'm since 2017 student at the Keshe Foundation. And for me, since the beginning, it was important to spread the knowledge. I wanted that the others understand that there is more. And I realized that there is not much in German translated, or books or brochures or letters. And I have to do that others can also learn from it. Or then I realized in English a lot of things are missing. So okay, English things have to be done. And since that time I work very much physical. And when we heard in the question and answers the question of the Chinese lady or guy, how it is with the translations, you have to become a creator and begin with it. And when your wish is to build up a community, then it will start to manifesting, or not getting a community to deliver the knowledge to others. And the community comes automatically. And also the people who have the same intention, the souls find together. And you can trust in yourself, even if there is nobody in your community. But when you start translating, for example, then you start educating yourself, elevating yourself, and this will then also elevate others. A lot of knowledge seekers have fear from doing physical work, and it's a lot of times a free time thing, just to be part everywhere. And there are reasons not to do something. I have this and that problems, I have a family, I have a job, I cannot do this, I need to go out, I need to wash my car. But for myself, I work when it's needed since that time. And it does not depend if that are month-long, from Monday to Sunday, from morning to evening. And it's not about to say how much I do, and I'm for sure not the one who do the most. There are a lot of others who understood that in the same way. When you serve, and it's not only physical, it's also on soul level and emotional level, and the wish for a better future. I'm also father. My son lives at my place. I have a handicapped mother. I have also a house and a garden. And I have also less money. And I come out of a very difficult situation in my life. But I knew I have to serve for everyone. And I do that since that time. And I received all in my life from alone. And that's a point what a lot of people don't understand. You can work different things outside 24 hours a day and looking that you have a beautiful house or this and that and this and that. And you will still not be satisfied. And when you serve with the intention, then for everyone, then you will be satisfied because you receive everything what you need. Yeah, and when it's like, should I translate this document from the Keshe Foundation knowledge? No, I want to meet with friends. That's more important because it gives me a short satisfaction of my physical needs. But when you translate a document and it's your intention to learn it and to serve with it also others, you will receive also enlightenments during the translation. When you make a document, it's physical here. Everyone can use it every time in 2 years, in 3 years, and it has also a soul to serve. And that's the beauty of serving also in physicality. But it's not only the physicality, it's just the result of your intention. And you don't have to work only in physicality. And I will try to explain how I understood it and what is important. Because last week I had a language group wrote me, hey, can you help me? The language group is growing very much. What is for you important? Do you have any suggestions? And I was very thankful for that message, to be able to help. And because I worked many years just alone, and I haven't seen the things years ago. Today I see it and I can help others with it. And so this what I say now is the result out of it, because I wanted to share it also with others. And it does not depend if you are alone or if you have already a group or a language group. But like Mr. Keshe said 2 weeks ago to a knowledge seeker who asked, where should I start? There is so much knowledge. Mr. Keshe said you can start 6 years ago with the Ganses and so on, but you are 6 years behind, or you can jump in now into the teachings and follow just that teachings. And that is it, as it is in a lot of language groups. There is nobody or less people who really can do something. And so the first point is to follow the teachings of Mr. Keshe. And there you have the chance of simultaneous translation, which should be done from knowledge seekers, which are longer part of the knowledge, because it's also, if you are a long time knowledge seeker, it's difficult to grasp everything, and you have no time, you have just to translate, and it should be as correct as possible. And this, at specific terms, when you are not a longer part of the Keshe Foundation teachings, then it gets much more difficult and easier to say something wrong. And we are really responsible to deliver the knowledge as good as possible. And in the German community, for example, we have every week the simultaneous translation live. Mario did it 1 year long, and since half a year or so I do it. And then we have a summary of the Knowledge Seekers workshop. Mario does that since, I believe, more than 400 Knowledge Seekers workshops. And he is very trained in it. And then we have the possibility to make the translation in text form. And this is something what I really like, because you really have to look that it translated correct, and you look then how it is said in English, and you sometimes have to think, what is Mr. Keshe meaning? And in this process you learn. And this is really much worth to learn the knowledge of Mr. Keshe. So it's not just working, it's learning and enlightening. Sometimes I fly, nearly every time. And I feel also like that my soul is expanding when I do something. And it's not like, or next week, or again work, again that. No, it's every time a new beauty. And so working becomes something beautiful. What I have a tip, because there is the DeepL translator. I don't know, there are for sure others. And there is the DeepL Starter Pro. You pay for it, €9 a month or €8. And it allows you to create a glossary. That means you can predefine how English words are translated. And that's really, that saves you so much time, because every language group knows that in DeepL you can choose suggestions. If you click on the text, on the word, which term you want to use as the translated word for the English. And there you can predefine things. And you don't have to click 20 times for this word and change it, and 20 times for the others, and for the other 20 words which has to be changed. And it saves you at the end hours of it. And do it, the DeepL translator, and I believe also others, I don't know, other translators have a KI. That means it recognizes your behavior in translating how you do the things, and then it gets more and more automatic. And where I have before translated 5 hours, let's say, now with the DeepL Starter Pro, it takes 2 hours. And you can really concentrate on the beauty of it and not changing these little things all the time again and again. And there is much more to it. Other advantage, if you are 2 people translating and you have 2 DeepL accounts, means you have to pay 2 times €9. You can build a team and share this glossary. So that means if there are newcomers in translating, they have it much more easier. And this saves a lot of time. And it's important to save time to be able to concentrate on the good things. Yeah. And then I do since 2 years subtitles for the short videos of Lisa, Ed, whoever, the Brazilian community. And I'm so thankful every time, every week, about the transcription of the Brazilian community. And that's one beauty. They receive through their physical work and wishes to serve my thank you. They receive it on soul level. And the same I receive for my physical work from myself, because I learned to, but also from all the others. And when then people sometimes say to me, hey, thank you that you do that, I suddenly can understand so much more. That are the big gifts of serving physically. And that's what we are doing in the German community. Simultaneous translations, a summary of the Knowledge Seekers workshop, or in text form we use the excerpts from Lisbeth. And I'm thankful again for these excerpts, and Lisbeth receives also on soul level. The short videos, I made 60 short videos in the last 2 years or 3 years with subtitles, and they are played in the Knowledge Seekers workshop again and again. So this physical work is already done, and it can be used now every time. It does not have to be done anymore. When in the Knowledge Seeker workshop the short video is played, we can use it to give it into the translation, or we can use it in other workshops. And this is also beautiful. For me, it was because I worked very much alone. It's one thing what you can do in your language group, working with other groups and language groups in different ways together. For example, I was translating the One Nation, One Planet, One Race, One Planet, One Nation, One Race, 2.5 years long, over 104 One Nations. And my wish was, because I saw in the German community that this understanding and processing of the knowledge, the soul level, comes more into the German community. I was attracted to it. I'm also since, I don't know, 5 years part here in this program. And I thought myself, this is missing in the German community. And you see then how the community, a part of it, is thankful for that knowledge, or you see them, how they are developing. Or how I am developing. Or we have the question and answers with Marie, Claudia, and guests, and the whole Brazilian team. For myself, I thought it's also an important part to translate it, and then that's the way how I do it here, to translate it before I get the transcripts, I translate them, and then I speak it live. For me, it was important to, because the translation is much more correct when I do it that way. And then the documents are already translated, and I can share that with the Universal Council and everyone who wants to translate it. I can share it in German in text form with the German community. Some people likes to listen, some people like to listen and to read texts to understand more. And so you serve on different levels. Or I also translate the testimonial meeting, not every month, but again and again. And this is something to show what other language communities and knowledge seekers are working on, because every language group has its own fields where they are in, where they are working on their own groups. And so for me, it was to show them more what others are doing, to bring them to new ideas, but also to bring the German community in the testimonial meeting, to motivate them that also others can see what we are doing in our language community. Or then it's every time when there comes an energy blueprint day or interview with Mr. Keshe, I don't think about it. I have to do it. And I work as fast as possible on it just to do it, because it's especially the interviews. There is so much in it for everyone who hears it, not only knowledge seekers. I feel then my soul just pulls me there. There's not a question if I do it or not. I just do it. And yeah, we worked also with other language groups together, with the Spanish language group 2020, 21 or 22, and with the Portuguese language group, the Danilo meetings with Jalal, and the German community was in the Spanish workshop, also the Brazilian. We translated, and everyone visited the other one in their workshops. And we were translating and working together. That was also something beautiful, just also to show that's for me important, that we are not just the German language group, and we nationals. For me, it's important to show that we all work together. Yeah, and out of this whole things, I took over 90 German-speaking knowledge seekers workshops ago from Mario, this workshop. And at first we made it in German and English, because my wish was also to invite other knowledge seekers from around the world, just to bring other field strengths in, other understandings other confrontation with knowledges, and also just that we all are the same from around the globe, and we all are here to share the beauty. After the time, then I made it in German, because for me alone and with all the other things, it was a little bit too much. And when the sessions in Linz started, the flight and transmutation sessions, then since then I followed it got more and more that I followed only the soul teachings anymore, and I left the Ganses completely out. And after the time, 3 knowledge seekers joined me. They were guests at the German-speaking knowledge seekers workshop, and they said they find it beautiful. Can they also do something? And one of it is Andrea, who is Universal Council support member also. And since then we were building up together the German-speaking knowledge seekers workshop. And we also work very much with the One Nation together and opposite. And it was like to bring the knowledge of the Universal Council into the German-speaking community, which was already done with the translations of the One Nation, but to, in a way, invite everyone to be part of it and to understand the knowledge of the soul and really to implement it. It's difficult to explain because it's so much to say. However, for example, for other language groups, as I said, we have already 60 short videos with subtitles, and we started to show them as an introduction video, and then we discuss it, that new people start learning how they can work with the knowledge of Mr. Keshe. So they see a video, they read the subtitles to it, and then they see how we are processing that knowledge, what we bring out of it. Because the most people, 8 billion, are not used to how Mr. Keshe is teaching and how you are processing it. And this is what we have to teach, what we try to teach in the best way. Well, we started something new for 1 month ago, questions out of the Keshe German Knowledge Team Telegram group, where we invite the knowledge seekers to ask questions, and we decide then to how we answer these questions. At first, we go through the all-in-one transcription of the Brazilian community. We try to find something in there, and if this is enough for an answer, then we translate this excerpts what we find, and then we read it and again add our personal additional understanding to it. Or we ask then Mr. Keshe in a knowledge seekers workshop, and or we say, hey, look, 3 knowledge seekers workshops back, there Mr. Keshe answered these questions. And so we tried to answer the questions of knowledge seekers. Then we have like here the excerpts of the knowledge seekers workshops, and there I have to say, in the mother language, it's really, again, very, very beautiful. And we are 4 people, Andrea, Renate, and Katja, and they are reading, for example. And then we have also testimonials from the sessions. Not much people are saying something, but again and again, it's beautiful to hear experiences and how they understood the teachings of Mr. Keshe and how they combine it when they are in the sessions or in their normal life. And that's the beauty of translating things. What I try to explain, we have the 24 commandments translated in German, or the UC Charter, the UC Mandate. We made one time an Ethos of Mitra workshop where it was just about that. And it's important, as I said before, to do also physically something, because that stays all the time. And it serves, it brings every time more understanding, and it helps you to teach. And then an important topic which is very important, it's the soul connection. And we started a few months ago, more and more with it, to bring topics and wishes into the soul connection. For example, when Mr. Keshe asked us to donate our time for Palestine physically, we made also a soul connection where it was about the wishes that knowledge seekers reach people in Palestine. It does not depend who it is. It has not to be somebody out of the German community. It's every time for everyone. And suddenly knowledge seekers got a, so to say, entrance into Palestine in different ways. And suddenly no headphones were necessary anymore. Or when it was about the Sanya donation campaign, we made a soul connection for this. Or we saw then here in the One Nation, somebody said there we should do something for the KF research and the development centers, and then we started this in the German community and also offered help to that people can say if they want to be there, and we offered our help that we do the best with our wishes to reach their target. And this all we bring into the soul connection. And it's the soul connection where we started with the Universal Council ago, I don't know, 2 years ago, 1.5 years, every day at 9 p.m. helped us very much in implementing different wishes. And I'm very happy that a lot of knowledge seekers and more understand it, and they enjoy also the whole energy of the workshop. It's not only the spoken words, it's also the energy behind and the soul level communication. Or then like here, we also invite people to the monthly sessions, or also to the Brazilian intention meeting, where we are every week, and there Katja and Andrea is translating the meeting. And there again, somebody wrote to me, wow, in the last intention meeting, it was like in the sessions for me, this and this happened, and it was so beautiful. And for me, this is the beautifulest thank you what I can get, and we all. That's why we are doing it. That other people can understand more and find ways to live a better, luckier life and implement their knowledge in their lives. There's so much to say. But generally, it's really beautiful, and it's so beautiful because we all are in a chain of knowledge exchange. And it's the chain of giving, like the Brazilian community does the transcriptions, 12 hours, I believe, after the Knowledge Seekers workshop. The language groups can use it. Now in the question and answers with the Universal Council, we had from the German community an improving for Telegram, and it was thankfully implemented from the Brazilian community. Or when it was about the interviews of Mr. Keshe, I made 2 proofreadings of the document because the others had no time, and it was for me beautiful to give something back. Even it was compared to that what we receive from the Brazilians, not much, but yeah. And now we work, the Italian community joined the question and answers with the Brazilian community, and they want also do live translations, so I can help with my experiences and how I did it, or how we work together with the German community, with the Brazilian community. And it's beautiful to share with each other, to help each other, and to bring each other forward. And yeah.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you. In all communities, because it's a lot of work, and start with the work with the translating in English from Elias and Brazilian community, and all community work about that. And thank you so much, because it's a lot of work for all communities. It's a lot of work, but the call is for more knowledge seekers. Take you time, please donate you time. Maybe you think, it's a little drop. No, maybe it's a little drop, but one drop, and one drop is form a big ocean. Technology. Thank you. Invite more people on all communities and continue work with that. Thank you so much.
That is very important, only if it's a little bit what you contribute, but maybe somebody reads a translation from you and he gets exactly that enlightenment what he needs in his life to change his life to something better. And in this moment you receive on soul level. And after that time, a lot of people here know what I mean. After the time you understand what it means that you serve and that you receive to be able to serve more. You receive in your life everything that you can serve. It's not, no, I have to work more that I get more money. No, I have to serve more that I can live a happy life. And my wish is that everyone will, from the whole humanity, will understand that. Yeah, and what I want to say, we have the KF week in English when it's about especially guns and nano-technology, guns making and nano coating. It's not much to translate if you want to do that, or there are a lot of other things there. We have in the German community a little bit translated of it. That's great, because if somebody asks me in a workshop, hey, I want to do Ganses, how I do that, I just say, please go to the KF Wiki. And the German community did Understanding Plasma Science, all the whole 12 parts in German language. So if there are new people, we can say, hey, look at this at first. So they get in touch with everything from nano guns to the soul level. And on that they can build up. And that's the beauty on physical working, because you create it and it's here to serve. And all what is done makes it easier to teach people, to bring people forward. Yeah. That's what I wanted to say, try to say. I hope I helped with this whole examples and ideas others to find their way. And if somebody has some questions, please feel free to ask.
Hi, Andreas.
Okay.
It's Dean here. May I quickly thank you very, Andreas, for all the wonderful intentions and all that wonderful, amazing work you do, and the teams that work with you, all the teams that work for the foundation, spreading the knowledge. Thank you all of you. Thank you very much. Andreas, so you touched on it briefly. When you went in the transmutation, when you went through the system, you found that you suddenly gained some knowledge, some enlightenment. You felt a need to serve the soul, to give unconditionally. How did that work for you? How did that open up?
When I had been in Linz, Mr. Keshe spoke about it in the Knowledge Seeker workshop. Mr. Keshe once asked me to go to the moon, and I said, no, I want to help the knowledge seekers, or be here for the knowledge seekers. At this moment, I was so lucky. We had so beautiful interactions with the Spanish and Portuguese community. And I was very thankful for that, and generally thankful that all serve in their way and give their best and share their love, that I had this wish this time when I was in Linz. And for me, when I look at short videos from Lisa or whoever, or when I read the Brazilian transcription or the excerpts, I feel the beauty of the people who have done it. I feel their fascination. I feel the beauty of it, why we all are doing that. Like it is in the Brazilian intention meeting. And what changed it, that I understand more what a beauty I can bring and what I can create. And if I wish peace, or if I wish that we all learn faster on the soul level, then I am the creator and I can do it in the best way how I understand it, to share the knowledge. And when I also receive them, I feel, as I said, when I do something, I feel that my soul is expanding. When I'm stressed and I think myself, no, wow, work again, sometimes it's much, but I learned it gets just much when I have to bring something in balance in my life. I feel how the souls are supporting me. And that's beautiful. And that's then the serving. And I wish that everyone can understand it. No, you bring no money home. Wow, have you ever understood what serving is? It's so beautiful. And it will give you everything what you need. That's what I started to learn, to understand. And also then that I understand the knowledge better. But this is for all of us, especially through the sessions, through all the sessions from leans to the headphone sessions. And we know what is to come and which beauty that will bring for all of us. And that's why we all are doing it.
Andreas, we'd just like to say thank you from our soul to your soul for all this wonderful knowledge and intentions that you've just shared, and this field strength that it's created to helpfully help others to come to understand the path and the journey that you find yourself part of. Thank you, Andreas. Thank you. The beautiful, all the communities, the German, Italian, the Spanish, each and every one of you, the Americans, all of them, very, very beautiful communities that are awakening to the knowledge and bringing it forward for humanity. And that's a very, very wonderful, beautiful, as you say, that wonderful word. That's a wonderful condition to bring forward for us to elevate and to understand that we need to in this moment accept and understand that this knowledge is present for humanity, not just for ourselves. And that service comes in when you share this knowledge. And if you share it on an individual level, or if you share it with a community or a nation, it has a beautiful impact, a beautiful way that the field strength filters through. And as you rightly pointed out, it affects you on a soul level. The soul is unlimited and it receives. And the moment you share this knowledge, the universe knows, and all the souls that are present give back to you in this moment. And it's not just that interaction that happens for a fraction of, you know, that moment. If there is no time and there is no space, then it's in this moment, which means it's forever, which means you receive that energy from all the souls. And it's a wonderful thing. Thank you very much, Andreas. Thank you.
Thank you also, Dean. And also thank you to everyone, to every community for what you are doing, because we learn all from each other. And I would like to say a special thank you for Katja, Andrea, and Renata, because it's not about money or ego. It's about being thankful to be part in this beautiful field and to share the fascination, the beauty, the understanding with others. And that is also a recommendation for language groups. Don't set money as your main target, that you do things, because then no good things come out. In the most time of the cases, if you make a shop or something and you are aware, okay, this is that what you have to deal with, okay. But when it's about knowledge sharing, because there are a lot of outside also in the German community, they hide themselves, have their own groups. They take everything from the knowledge what they can, but they give nothing back, and they make then workshops and earn a lot of money. And then you feel this interaction. You see then lies. You see then bad speaking about the Keshe Foundation. This is the moment then where you are not connected on the level anymore where it should be, on the ethos, the correct behavior. So if you want to help, do it unconditional and for free, because then you can reach the beauty of the soul level. Otherwise, you are trapped in the physicality. Thank you.
Thank you so much, all souls, for expanding knowledge from the Creator, expand the ethos from the Creator, from the Mitra. Thank you so much. Continue with the wishes. I give you the big wish.
Yes, next page. Yeah, thank you.
Because we are the soul of the peace. We, the Universal Council, elevate the souls of the Iranian government people dying in helicopter accidents. Our wish is your comment.
We are present.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, dear Andreas, for your beautiful, beautiful explanation, clarity, really transforming. Thank you. So much to do, really. Thank you so much, my dear Andreas. Thank you. So now we can go to the next presentation. Here, again, we are here. You are here to serve, not to be served, dear beautiful souls. And, well, of course, to serve beautiful souls. So welcome, welcome, welcome to the beautiful, beautiful energy, beauty and totality of Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute organization. Welcome to all universal souls in love, the energy of them. And welcome, welcome. Join, merge, love, Keshe Foundation. Follow whatever you can be with the Keshe family. The knowledge, the universal knowledge of the universal creator. So, yes, thank you. And ready?
Does Dean want to do his needs and wishes? He has an image for that.
Rick, I didn't know
Okay,
whether it's getting a little bit too late for it. Or maybe we can leave it for next time. The needs and wishes are always, very present for each and every one of us, for the communities. And I think Andreas and Elizabeth and all the beautiful people that have shared so much of their soul, and thank you for that. You shared your soul with us, and that feel strength, that beauty we've received, and we felt the intention behind it. And so I'm going to shorten this, the needs and wishes from our community, the Universal Council, and it's one planet, one nation, one race for justice, as that was explained earlier, but world peace, that peace within us. And guys, thank you so much for the your sheer beauty that you've shown, the humbleness of the creator. Thank you all.
Thank you, my dear Dean. Thank you so much. And again, we are here to serve, not to be served. And here, merge, join, follow, love, Keshe Foundation, the beauty and totality. Welcome, welcome to the beautiful energy of Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute organization. Dear beautiful souls, welcome to the universal energy of love and the universal knowledge. Thank you so much for being here always, dear beautiful souls, as we are all in this service of humanity, upliftment of humanity in peace and love. And for this, we can say thank you. Thank you again, the Universal Council. And this is Shwetanbar. You see Hindi language. Salam, namaste, salute. Thank you so much, so much.
Great. Well, thank you, Sweta, and thank you to all the members of the Universal Council who presented today's workshop and gave us part of their soul and part of their knowledge. Thank you very much. This has been the 327th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, May 21st, 2024. Our next public teaching workshop is the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, which starts at 7 a.m. Central European Time on Wednesday, May 22nd. That's tomorrow. And we welcome young folks or old people in that workshop, whether you have knowledge of the plasma technology or not. We try to find a way to explain the plasma technology to those that are newcomers, and welcome experiments and other things you might like to show in that workshop as well. Let me see. I guess that's it for announcements, other than the Knowledge Seekers workshop coming up on Thursday, May 23rd. Will be at the, what's it? 9 p.m. Central European Time, Central European Summer Time, rather than the 9 a.m. Time. So we're put ahead 12 hours on that workshop. So keep that in mind if you are tuning in. Okay, I think that's it. And now I think we'll hear from Sweta.
Tuning in into the dance
the
and
sounds
music
of joy.
Of course, my dear beautiful souls, be in joy, live in joy, be in the blessings of the universe of creator. Thank you. Tap, tap, and dance.
As we go with the Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit music version. And again, thank you all for attending today. And many thanks to the Universal Council for presenting these workshops. Thank you, Mark, for the co-hosting as well, and for cluing me in when I missed some tricks along the way there. And thank you for our background image from Jedi Simon once again as well. Okay, bye everyone. See you in the next public teaching workshop.